All right, well, we're out here to have some fun, to kick some ass, so let's do
Hi, I'm First Lieutenant Sean A. Tellers. I am the project officer for the 2000 Supply Fuels Readiness Competition, the Sonoran Shootout. The teams that are currently featured here at this year's rodeo are, of course, DM's the featured team. We've got teams from around the world coming to this competition. The purpose of the rodeo is a couple-fold. First of all, the biggest thing is to practice real-world skills in a competitive environment. These are war skills I'm speaking of. The second purpose of the rodeo is obviously to build esprit de corps within the unit, within the career field, and within the Air Force. The events that these competitors compete in, 11 events total, are things that they do in their everyday job or when they're deployed out in the field. They're able to realize that there are other folks out there that are doing the same job that they are doing, and they're able to put a name with a face. For example, if a troop has an issue that they need to clear up with another base, they might know a name or a face of somebody that they met at the rodeo. The events that are taking place at this year's rodeo go across both the supply and the fuels disciplines. There are 4 supply-specific events, 4 fuel-specific events, and 3 combined events that are designed to test universal war skills such as M16, a battlefield scenario, and a relay race. The Supply Fuels Readiness Competition is something that's completely unique to the supply community. To my knowledge, nobody else in the Air Force does something such as this to test their wartime skills. It's been a tremendous pleasure to work this event, and I've really enjoyed meeting all the folks around the supply community, and I'm excited to see the results of this year's competition.
Red flag is one of those time-honored traditions here in the United States Air Force that has been around for a long time, since our days in Vietnam, where we put together a very complex combat-related type of exercise. Red flag is a recurring exercise where we bring in different units from not only throughout the Air Force, but also our sister services and also from our allies to come in here and spend 2 weeks in a simulated wartime environment and have either a combat scenario, or in this case of this red flag, the first time we've had military operations other than war, called Mutwa. The most challenging part is just the learning environment that we're in and working together. This is probably, I've been associated with more than 10 flags in my career, and probably this one, more so than others, has been a lot more learning for me and the guys that fly fighters about what the airlift side of the house does. And I think on the airlift side of the house, with their big involvement in this flag, they have learned a heck of a lot about fighter tactics and what we do to not only protect them and escort them in, but also just in the close air support arena for the A-10. So for the air crews themselves, their typical day, the mission commanders will take the day off before they fly to plan a very complex mission, and the guys that aren't mission commanders are generally flying each day. It's a fairly busy schedule. The timing, not only for the operators but the maintainers, there's a lot of work, particularly at night. The folks that are loading up munitions on the A-10s have to work very long. They're getting out of here about 4 a.m. because they've got to reconcile all the munitions for the next day and upload the different bombs or the Maverick missiles that we're using for the next day's sorties. So fairly complex, and it's been a great opportunity for the 355th Wing from Davis-Monthan. We've had an opportunity to have 4 squadrons deployed here, and we're also the core unit. So we've got quite a number of folks here that are trying to put this all together and make this work. Short of work, it's the most exciting exercise that we can participate in any type of flag, because you sit there and you get to practice your combat skills. You get to learn from it. So if you get shot one day, you get to come back the next day and perhaps do it better so you don't get shot. But people aren't really dying, which is the wonderful thing, but you're still getting to practice those combat skills to really prepare you. And that's what we're all in this profession for, is to be able to defend our nation and to be able to do well and kick anybody's butt if we go into conflict. And this is exactly the type of thing that makes us be able to do that.
I'm Colonel Darrell Hausman, the 355th Operations Group Commander from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Participating here at Red Flag for the last 2.5 weeks as the deployed force commander. I'm the lucky guy that's in charge of the over 100 airplanes and 600 people that are deployed up here to participate in this Red Flag. Red Flag is an opportunity for the aviators to practice their first simulated combat missions. The objective here is to give guys that are going to go out and fly combat an opportunity to say that they've participated in their first 10. So the threats that they see air to air and air to ground, if they really would have to go to combat, wasn't the first time they would have seen them. Davis-Monthan, as part of AEF 5, actually being the lead wing, had the opportunity to come up here as the core unit for this Red Flag. This is the first Red Flag that's taken into account any of the AEF units and called it an AEF at the same time. So what we got to do was practice those things that we're going to do the next time we deploy as an Air Expeditionary Force. We handled the command and control, we handled the logistics side of the house, the supply side of the house, the personnel side of the house. We were basically the provisional wing for a coalition air force deployed up here to Red Flag, and that's exactly what we'll be accomplishing when we actually go off and deploy as an AEF. But those primary squadrons that came up and acted as a core unit was the 354th Fighter Squadron flying the A-10. We had the 42nd ACCCS, ABCCC unit up here flying both in Red Flag and Air Warrior, and we also had the 43rd Electronic Combat Squadron flying the Compass Call jets that participated in Red Flag as well. So we had a smattering of all kinds of folks from Davis-Monthan participating in this Red Flag.